Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the Amazing Super Chris. Thank you for joining me today. My co-host Ryan is with me. It's Thursday, the day of Thor. We're going to talk about, we always talk about rambling stuff because that's how it rolls around here. But today we're going to talk about what's going on in Oklahoma. I don't know if you know this, but they are planning, plotting, scheming to teach election lies to the students in Oklahoma. Thanks, Donald Trump and conservatives. We're going to visit about that and other stuff today. Hey, I've got a new thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but in July, I'm going to be in Williamstown, Kentucky for the Ark Encounter protest. July 6th is when that's all going down. Here's our little thing for it, little spot for it. Longer than I thought. There we go. All right, and we are back. So, Kentucky, be there, be square, watch it on the interwebs. Let me bring up my co-host for this morning, Ryan. Always my co-host, right? Look at that hair. Is that not cute?
I'm so cute.
I dig it. The little things back there. That's awesome.
You're just going to get long enough and we can do the same. We can be twins.
I'm working it. I'm working it like a job, growing that hair out. Good morning to you. I hope you've had a great day. I've been trying to fix my camera and all my stuff. Hopefully everything looks better.
Yeah, I think the light looks pretty good.
Better, more gooder, most goodest? Okay. All right. At least it's not fuzzy. I still need to do better, but anyway. Yeah, and you look better too. You've been kind of blown out lately and all white, but yeah, you're kind of...
because our electricity went out yesterday, so our air conditioner for some reason broke, so we don't have air on, so it's pretty hot in here. So I did close my curtains, so that's probably why I'm not so white.
As blown out. Gotcha. Well, good morning. Sorry about the electricity and the AC.
Yeah, so it's warm, so I probably will have to get up and fill this once or twice.
Understood. Have you considered prayer?
I did try that. And for some reason, it just made me hotter.
Oh, that's hot. Especially with the good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Hiding my horn.
Yes, your horns. There you go. Fern Love Bond is here. Why? Because we bro. Morning, Chris. And Miss Non Sequitur. Is Miss Non Sequitur here? Good morning, Miss Non Sequitur. Thank you for joining us.
It's been a while.
Fern, I'm waking up, listening to the phone while I get sorted. All right, good morning, Fern. Thank you for listening with us. Chris Wilson is here. Good morning, fellow heathens. I see a name I don't recognize, Dog of the Crossroads of Reason.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
That's
welcome to the Daily Atheist, fellow burner. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you're had a great week so far. It's almost over.
Thank goodness. Not that it means anything.
Right.
rinse and repeat,
That is true. I used to, isn't it? I don't know about you, I find that whenever I had a workaday job, weekends had more value to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Now it's like, yay, it's what day is it? It's
same day as it was yesterday.
Yeah. I do a lot of work on the weekends. I edit together all the Theocracy Watch shows, and I build the shows for the week for the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I get all that taken care of on the weekends, so I can not have to work during the week so hard. And then during the week, I work on this. It's just never
It's always
ending.
something. You find something to fill the time.
Yes. Well, thankfully, the tech gremlins have been merciful this morning. Michael Wolf is here. Good afternoon, Michael Wolf from across the Atlantic, where education still seems to matter for now. Yes, it does. John Fapiano is here this morning. John, thank you for joining us. Left-handed Jedi, SSDD. Yeah, same shit, different day. Hashtag truth. Yes. OB Atheist says, I'm retired, so don't really mean anything. Same thing. I have to get it done. In my world, it does kind of what does mean something for me is that the evil one is off for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Right.
And that's fun. And I get to have fun. More fun. And this is oh man, I don't know if I should say or not. I guess I can. Today, aujourd'hui, is her 20 years at the VA.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It very much is. And which means that they just so much. No, I'm just.
Don't even want to put it out there in the ether, right?
Don't even. Yeah, no. Well, she's 20 years, a long time to do anything.
It is.
Yeah. So.
I struggle to stay with anything for too long.
No doubt. And to think she was just starting to get good at it. You can tell she's not home, right?
Right. She's just gonna watch it back later and smack you randomly.
Yeah. Again, I'll be like, I don't even ask anymore what that was for. What was that for? I don't.
I did something. I know I did.
I know. Yeah. If I didn't do something, I'm gonna.
Yeah, it might just be preemptive,
I know me well enough to know me. Jeanette's boxing channel is here. Someone told me that 7-year-olds are getting sex change surgery, and when I asked at what hospital, he said I didn't say it was at a hospital. Yeah, there's stupid misinformation out there.
My God.
And I want to mention, sometimes they come in here and they do throw one of the hard questions at me that I don't really know how to answer. And that question is, at what age do you let someone determine they want to make those kind of decisions for themselves?
I would say,
I'm not the person to ask.
Yeah, I would say, how about you ask the fucking doctor? How about that?
Ask the doctors. Ask maybe some trans people. Let them be the ones,
Yeah, why
go ask them.
Me that question, weirdo? Fuck.
Right. I mean, I'm going to defer to them every time in something I don't understand. And they try to pin that on me like because I support trans people, I support violating children and doing this. I'm like, you have no idea what I support. But when it comes to those things, I'm not the person to ask anyway. If you're asking me what I think, you're asking the wrong people.
Well, they're the ones who freaking ignore what the preachers are doing at the pulpit. Oh, okay. Tell me about your morality.
Truth. That's right.
Tell me more about it. I really want to hear.
And most importantly, let's find out what John the Heretic has to say. Finally showed up, John. John, where you been?
John? We've been waiting.
Looking at you. I know. I mean, this is why we can't have nice things. People don't show up. Hi, John. Good morning. Thank you for John Hudson is here. All the Johns are here. I feel a BM coming on. Wait a second. Good morning, Johns. Well, they're gone now.
Somebody flushed them.
Yeah. Chris Wilson is here. So someone is performing sex change operations in their garage. That is a skill I will never have. So true.
Real.
And they're doing it on their lunch, probably.
Yeah, because I'm sure parents would just think that's cool to do, right?
No
because
doubt.
you're, totally stupid, and for whatever reason, you think that parents should have all the control, and when it comes to children's autonomy, but yet you won't give the parents the control of the child's autonomy. What the fuck are you like? Right. Which is which? So true. Now I'm gonna venture out there, and I'm gonna try to drop some knowledge that I'm not exactly certain of. So bear with me. In the chat, I see my friends saying, so sex change surgery, sex change operation. I repeated those in saying the questions here on the thing. I don't believe it's common in the community to refer to that anymore using that term. I believe it's something like sexual reassignment, or there's a different term. And there may be somebody in the chat who can help us out. But the reason why I know this is because when I first came on the channel again, this time, back in August of last year, I fired up the channel. I'm like, hey, I asked, and we started talking about it, and I was using the term sex change surgery or something of that nature. And I believe it was Ember
or Bree.
Maybe.
Somebody in that field, let me know, hey, we don't use that anymore. And the reason why is because people on the right like to use it as a slur.
Right.
It's become so a lot of us who aren't in that sphere don't know that. So I thought I'd throw that out there for those people in the chat who are using that term, probably just because they don't know.
That's what you hear in the news all the time.
And it's really a horrible gender affirming surgeries. Miss Non Sequitur says, thank you very much for that.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, gender affirming care.
Yes, gender affirming care. Okay, awesome sauce. Yeah, so just for those in the know, I can understand. I try to be sensitive. My views on if anybody knows my views is these people are some of the most, I mean, they're so brave.
Right.
The last thing they need is me piling on with some of my BS, not being able to remember something like that. And one of the things those far right Christian people is really fascinating. They can remember Pope Leo. They can say Pope Leo. They don't have to remember his full first name that he went by before that, Robert, whatever his name was. They can adjust. Strange. They can adjust. Whenever a woman gets married, oddly enough, especially whenever a woman gets married, they can adjust and start saying Mrs. instead of Miss.
And if you were to call me Miss and I was like Mrs., you wouldn't be like, oh, God, what a fucking bitch. You'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, Miss. You Mrs. Like, it wouldn't even be a big frick. You wouldn't even think about it.
Or, an even more good or most goodest example is if you were married using your pre-existing name, your maiden name. So, Ryan Smith, and you're like, oh, it's not Smith. I've been married. I'm Ryan Cultastic now. And then I would go, oh, okay, Ryan Cultastic. I don't think there's anybody out there who would continue to disrespect you by calling you Smith for that purpose.
Nope.
But if you're a transgender individual, that's something you face on.
They're hell bent. They're set on it. Dead set on it.
Left-handed Jedi for $2. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Left-handed Jedi says, sending out love to those who need it. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're wonderful, Left-handed Jedi. Awesome.
Happy Pride Month, y'all.
Happy Pride Month.
Like they can't even. Oh, did you? I mean, I don't know what you had on the. I know what we have on the thing, but just since we're talking about it, did you hear about the gentleman from Parks and Rec who got killed? I don't know if y'all watched that show. You heard about it?
The Native American,
the indigenous person. Yeah, he and I believe he's actually indigenous too.
Yes.
Because sometimes they get somebody else to play an indigenous, which is just I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
I understand.
Yeah, so he and his husband had went back to an old property that they used to live on that got burnt down by people in their town, if y'all haven't heard the story. And they were going back to check the mail. Now, the town had been telling them, we're going to kill you. We're going to, like, they've been threatening them for years. And no one, not the police, nobody helped them. So they just went back to check the mail. When they went to check the mail, the neighbor came over, started yelling slurs. And that was that. And they're still not calling it a hate crime. They refuse to call it a hate crime.
Well, they wouldn't. Then we know who they are.
Right. Police, investigators. I mean, it's just, yeah.
Eurogeezer says town was full of Christians, I assume. Probably good Christians, as a matter of fact. We saw yesterday on our show, we had Tertia from South Africa and her engagement with a good Christian, fervent Christian, how all she did was pull crosses off of public signs that had been put up by somebody. She removed the cross. Dangerous. Yeah. And this individual has threatened her, just been a horrific person in the name of Jesus.
Yeah. And he said some like outright racist stuff. And like the F word. I mean, he was being outlandishly disgusting and nothing.
Very true. The racist things are one thing. It's sending her threats in Facebook and then threatening her and creating a fake Facebook account claiming to be her and admitting to be a PDF file in her name and those sorts of things. It was absolute harassment. I know, man, that is low. And guess which side tends to have the PDF files, by the way? I mean, Bill Blister, the term flu, wife in Scandi language, is increasingly rare in Sweden and Denmark. Oh, fru. Oh, you don't call them fru anymore? Kip Davis, John Hudson, you can imagine in my line of work, the controversy surrounding pronouns is especially absurd. I can imagine. Good morning, Dr. Kip. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful week so far. Hope everybody has. Jesus Christmas. Does eat me like a good wafer.
I love Cheez-Its. If I could get Cheez-Its, I mean, I probably would eat them. That'd be great if they were shaped just like Jesus. Look, Mom, shaped like Jesus.
You know, if they were shaped like Jesus on the cross, you could like eat his little arm, then eat another little arm, and like eat.
No, is that not the best part about eating animal crackers? Is like, you know, biting the tail or the foot or the head. You know, you just get to.
That's easy. I didn't come up with that.
You get to do it to Jesus.
When was the last time you got to bite off your Lord and Savior's head?
Which one?
There's no time for romance.
We got stabbing to do.
That's part of the romance.
Oh man, Jesus.
Oh man, you ain't right, lady. That's funny. Obi Atheist says, I think we have a new snack. Philosophish asks, do vegetarians eat animal crackers? I don't think so. There's too many meat products in them, wouldn't you think?
There probably is. Sadly, there probably is meat products in animal crackers.
I'm just guessing. There's bound to be something in there that's, you know, fresh Ezekiel bread. Good morning, fresh Ezekiel bread. Ooh. I thought I smelled you walk in. Ezekiel bread Eucharist cookies. There you go. With
taste of sin baked right in.
Absolutely. Kip Davis, yes, people flipping out about pronouns, wait until they learn about verbs.
Oh my God.
You know, it's just one of those things. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with what the topic of the show, I'm going to go ahead and refresh the page here and we'll talk about it briefly. For those of you who are unawares, I do a lot of things unawares. The poll of the day is Oklahoma conservatives want to teach Trump's election lies as if they are historical fact. Is this plain GOP state-sponsored disinformation? It sounds like these are really tough to choose from, if you ask me. Should fake election claims be banned from classrooms? Should schools push Trump's election lies as history? Only 6% have actually checked that box. And then is Oklahoma rewriting history to fit MAGA lies? I shouldn't have put those as questions. I should have done that differently. I thought I was being clever, less than clever. If clever were over here, I would be like, over here.
I see.
Less than clever. Anyway, yes. So I think it's standard operating procedure. Yes, Neuro Geezer. I think so too. Left-handed Jedi, stop sharing. See the Savior, taste the Savior.
Taste the Savior. I like it.
That's right. That's right. Just whatever you do, for God's sakes, don't put a rainbow on the box.
Oh God,
they will come apart at the seams. We've got limits, people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Thank you, Left-handed Jedi, for the $2 super chat. Meanwhile, they don't want us to talk about Trump stealing the 2016 election. Jeanette, I think that's fantastic. I too believe that
stole all
Trump,
the elections, if you ask me.
Yep.
Just saying.
I think he said one of the things. I think he did too. Both times, absolutely. He got help from Russia both times. And I say that with the Mueller report to back me up. What's that?
And from people here too, whether or not they were, whatever, who knows, conspiring together. But that dude has lots of help.
Yes. Axel Ignat says Oklahoma is the same state that wants to shove Trump Bibles in U.S. government classes, so I can't say I'm surprised. Well, that's a very good point. We are awares.
And the PragerU stuff, I think, also is going on in that state.
Well, what we've got actually on this topic is somebody, her name is Rion, did a Theocracy Watch on the topic of
Did I?
the Oklahoma thing. And I have got that queued up in here in a little bit. After today's Theocracy Watch, when we're done visiting about it, we're going to rerun this Theocracy Watch and discuss the conversation about what's going on in Oklahoma. I mean, it's just a start. They're programming the kids that election lines are bad. The conservatives, I'm telling you, I've been saying on the show, there's a mindset of person who should never be allowed near the levers of power.
Never.
And you know who? Never, ever again. They've had every opportunity they get. They drop the ball in the most horrific way. Yep. They plot, they scheme, they lie with the goal of enriching themselves and hurting others. Mm-hmm. It's not just about enriching themselves. If that were just about enriching themselves, Elon Musk is rich, stupid rich. But there's just this tingle in his brain about hurting others. I don't know. I don't get it. I have no idea.
Me neither. Money talks, I guess.
Money. John Hudson, Philip Lister, it's nothing new. The U.S. has been hiding their history since conception. Oh, that's true, though. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. We like to think we're Captain America when actually we're more like that guy from The Boys TV show, you know, the one that kills people and does bad stuff.
Oh,
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I like that one. I mean, I don't like it, but, you know, I like it because it's pretty much them, in my opinion. That's how they behave.
Yeah, absolutely. John Hudson, why? Because we bro, pseudo history, long live the GOAT. Good morning, pseudo history. You know, I was so busy this morning doing stuff. I forgot to watch Casey.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot to watch the show. The Kentucky Atheist, Rich has power limits. Good morning, Joe. It certainly does. Rich has power limits. Power doesn't seem to have a lot of limits. And you don't have to be rich necessarily to get power, but it certainly does help. I'm looking forward. We were talking earlier that, matter of fact, I'll play it here in just a second. I've turned that thing you sent us into a little commercial on the show. I am so looking forward to, because it is 1 month away. I will be arriving in Williamsburg, Kentucky. Williamstown. I always want to call it Williamsburg. It's Williamstown's Kentucky. And preparing to do the thing at the place with the other atheists. Now, as the rumor is that Ken Ham and Ken Hovind are both going to join up together and hold hands, maybe even kiss.
Oh, please.
I mean, that would be so fantastic. Ooh, I bet we can get some AI to make that shit for us.
I bet.
But I need to reach out to Ken Ham. Damn it, I keep doing. I confuse them in my head, you know. I need to reach out to Ken Hovind and see what I can do to get him to whack me. I'm dying to get Ken Hovind to whack me.
Please whack me.
Would you whack me?
Just get a shirt. Get a shirt. And just
whack me, Ken. Whack me hard.
Yeah. You should.
Yes. And, you know, maybe what I should do, they were saying, oh, here's an idea. They were saying the best thing you could do is come up with an error, you know, like call him out on something, but be wrong about some little thing. I should call him out as Ken Hovind. And in the video, call him Ken over and over again.
Yeah. Do that. That will probably piss them off.
Right. If we can get how many we got? 33 people. If we can get, I should actually just do a poll. Should I do a poll on that?
Do a poll.
I'm going to do a poll. A poll. Let me end this poll. Ooh. End poll. All right. So, end poll. Let's do a nuevo polo. Bum bum. Good. Oh, damn it. Should I make a video about Kent Hovind and call him Ken throughout?
I think
he'll whack me. There we go. I'm gonna go yes. No, yes. All right. I got options here. Don't wait, people. I got options. Yes. There we go. Almost done. Done. That's close enough. Let's just go. Boom. I don't have the patience for those guys. There's the question. Have you voted yet? Oh, I got to add an option. Dang it. Let's go. I don't have to add an option. Get rid of that option. Get rid of that option. Okay, go. There you go, people. Vote. Should I do a thing? Make a video about Kent, calling him out, maybe challenging him to whack me, but call him Ken the whole time. What do you think? So do the voting thing. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Get whacked.
Get whacked. How long has it been since you've been whacked?
Been a little while.
I don't know. Well, we got everything waterproof now, so it doesn't matter so much.
Safe.
If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're a conservative. You've never pleased a woman.
They scared of women.
They bad man. Bad man. Let's see how our poll's doing
Cunt.
already. Yes.
Cunt.
So 17. Is that what you do? Yeah.
That's what Sumami said. I just repeated it. Can't hold
I don't know how that ever escaped me, but it was so obvious. As soon as I heard you say it,
It's one of those you just assume has already been done.
I was, man, oh, damn. Hovent.
Bovid. Bovid.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll just make a video, see if I can get him to whack me. That way I can be an official atheist. And then a real atheist.
Yeah, then you're like initiated into the atheist like cult club.
Yeah, always wanted to be atheist.
Maybe vicariously you can help me join too.
Oh yeah. We're skipping our way hand in hand into hell. You know how it is.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey.
Good morning, Sumami. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
I think it is time. We're gonna run. Kalasia is here.
I'm like,
Ooh.
hello.
Kalasia says, calling him Kent, old Kenty boy. Old Kenty boy.
Old Kenty boy.
Got me blocked on his now banned YouTube channel. Interesting.
That's funny, Kalasia.
All right, we're going to run our new quick, brief little commercial for our Ark Encounter protest. And whenever we get back, we will do Theocracy Watch. Here we go.
Be prepared.
I think, he's got lots of hands. He can whack a lot of people. I'm sure.
He's a whack-a-mole.
Ark Encounter protest. Yes, thank you for that, Kalasia, very much. Damn it, that was an accidental vote on the poll. My God damn, Catherine. Did you accidentally vote no? Kent will crack. I think I could get whacked. I think it'd be pretty easy for me to get whacked. I'm whackable.
You're whackable.
If you've seen my OnlyFans link.
Am I not whackable?
You are. Oh no, you're whackable. You are. Shut up, Chris. HR will be getting me in just a minute.
Right.
Grumpy Librarian is here. Good morning, Grumpy Librarian. Thank you for joining us. Kent, the Kentucky Atheist, says, call him and tell him there isn't a man in his family if he doesn't whack me. Whack me, Kent. Whack me hard. No, remember, I'm going to call him Ken. Hey, Ken. Ken Hovind. How you doing, Ken? I heard you whack people, Ken.
Kim?
All right. I'm going to run our I know the guy. That's the guy. Isn't he the one that has the Ark encounter? Ken Hovind or Ken Hovind? I don't know. They're the same. I think they're the same person. You ever
Never
notice how
heard of
you
him.
never see them together at the same time?
It's his alter ego, maybe. Stupid
It
and
could be.
stupider. Dumb and
Could be. They
dumber.
have the same accent, don't they? I think they do.
Same brain cell? Is that what they're sharing, maybe? Is that why? They're both operating on one little...
Very possible. Got a little 9-volt battery running the whole way. All right, I'm going to push the button. We're going to do a Theocracy Watch and see what the hell is going on in this world.
You're tuned in to the Atheist Morning Show on the Dan Network. And this is Theocracy Watch. When a dictator says he's going to act like a dictator, maybe we should just believe him. Welcome back to Theocracy Watch, where we track how the holy war on democracy is coming at us one authoritarian fever dream at a time. This week, a New York Times report confirms something that sounds like it came out of a dystopian Netflix series. The Trump administration is building a mega database, a centralized hub of hundreds of data points on every American, and they're doing it with the help from Peter Thiel's Palantir. That's the same Palantir that built ICE's migrant tracking tools, the same one that has military contracts with the Israeli Defense Forces, and the same one whose CEO bragged about using tech to scare our enemies and occasionally kill them. Peak late-stage surveillance capitalism, like vibes of Black Mirror meets ICE. And now they're helping Trump roll out what insiders are already calling a deportation machine. Here's how it works. Palantir software, powered by AI, scoops up your data from the IRS, the HHS, the DHS, and even the Department of Education. Your vaccine status, student loans, tax filings, and citizenship records all fed into a single surveillance system. And with Trump's allies embedded across every federal agency, from J.D. Vance to former Palantir engineers now running health and tech departments, there's little oversight. Efficiency is just a brand name. Under the hood, it's a full-service repression machine designed to track dissent, deport vulnerable, and crown billionaires as high priests of the panopticon. Even Trump's own supporters are getting nervous. Far-right influencers like Nick Fuentes, if you can believe it, are calling it the ultimate betrayal. MAGA influencers are asking, did I vote for this? And the answer is yes. Yes, you did vote for this. This is the playbook, and now you're watching it go live. Thanks for that. From Gaza to Georgia, the surveillance state is expanding, not to protect lives, but to determine whose lives matter less. And thanks to Palantir, the same AI tools fueling genocide in Palestine are now being wired into our own government, with Israel's apartheid state gaining influence not just over foreign policy, but inside our federal agencies. They say it's to keep us safe, but we never got a say. Our data is being used to sort, silence, and surveil us, while the architects hide behind the code. In the end, the real danger isn't that we're all being watched, it's that no one is watching them. So get curious, speak up, and stay loud. I said this was coming. I mean, I'm not the only person that said this was coming, but I knew it was coming. I just didn't realize it would be 6 months in and it would be getting flirted with, and they're probably going to try to roll it out.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. Can y'all hear Ollie over there snoring?
I can't. I have my fan on like. I can't hear anything really.
Sorry. If he's snoring, Palantir can hear it, and they're reporting it to Trump right now.
Yeah, he's going to get in trouble on the job.
You know, there are a lot of things that it just blows my mind how conservatives, right-wing people are afraid of something or don't like something or you know, they cry about something. Then once in power, they do that thing. And then the ones that aren't doing the thing, the ones that are getting the thing done to them, cry about it. I mean, yeah, this is almost right out of 1984. If any of you are old enough to remember the
right, yeah, it feels like a some kind of Orwellian fever dream mixed with modern day sci-fi of some sort. You know, it
does. There's two different things that are going on that are possible here. One is that, man, They know everything about you. If you've done something wrong, they know. If you've gone on the internet to a website that was a little risque or whatever that you shouldn't have, they know. And they could use that against you. That's the one thing that's kind of scary. Is that scary? Anybody? Show of hands. Wow, that's scary. You know what the second part that's scary is? These people who have this power, these are the same right-wing Christian conservative mentality kind of persons who are known to lie, obfuscate, do all this stuff. So it doesn't end with just the fact that you actually did something. And you don't have to have done something.
Nope.
The people who now know everything you did can put something there and say you did something.
Or they'll just use anything you've said in social media,
Right.
like one little thing you said about Trump or something, and they can take that and turn that into treason or blasphemy or what have you. I mean, that's what this infrastructure being set up is for, to monitor our every move. And it's not about like, you know, did you do something wrong? Did you run a stop sign? Like, they're looking for people like us. They're looking for people that are dissenters. That's who they're going for, because if they can shut all of those voices down, they'll have an easier time at it.
Absolutely. And like you're talking about, okay, so shit goes wrong and we get into a total totalitarian state. I'm like, man, I got to do something. So I go down, I'm going to join them so I can show them, and I'm going to get in, I'm going to infiltrate them because I look like them, right? And then they go back in my social media from back in whenever, and they can clearly tell that I'm not, you know what I mean? It's not like it was back in World War II, whenever there was the White Rose and the Maquis and things like that. And people actually could easily go infiltrate the German army. At this point, it'd be very difficult with facial recognition software, you know? And now, of course, with one of the things that really gets hard is before long, things are going to get so rough, they may, and I don't know, they may find a hard time finding the people willing to carry out some of their orders.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. I would hope that some of these people would have a brain, but you know, that they're in the cult. You know, you're part of the cult. So are you? What comes first, your humanity or your identity with the cult?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. There's a lot going on there. And one of the things that gets us to that point is brainwashing the children.
Right.
And they've been doing that in schools for forever, as far as religion, misinformation, pumping. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And as for the topic of today's show, in Oklahoma, they were trying, you know what, we did our Theocracy Watch. I am now going to pop up on L screen here. Give me a moment. And I will show you, wrong screen, Chris. Come on, Chris. We will run over this video. We're going to run it over. And show you what the report Rion did for us about what they're trying to push in Oklahoma on the children in Oklahoma. Come on, Chris, you can do this. I actually did have this primed earlier. I'm just such a slacker. Let's go here. Under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, right? All right, so let's go. So are they all honorable men? Why is it not want to do that? Let's go there. Share. All right, share entire screen. Damn you. Let's go here. Here we go. I want to pull us off the screen and highlight that.
Oh, wait. Can they hear it?
You may not be able to hear it. I think they can hear it. Or not, they can't hear it. Damn it. That didn't work as planned. Why? Okay. I got it. I got it. I can do this. I can do this. It's not my fault. It is my fault. Why is that still up there? Because I got it highlighted. Here we go. Okay, so let's go here, 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 here. Boop, 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 boop. And now there. And now I can do it. Un moment, s'il vous plaît. So now we share. Now we go here. Someday in the distant future, I will have an engineer who will do this stuff all for me during the show. Yeah, someday. That day is not today. So now I'm going to go here, and we're going to go highlight, and we're going to go back to here. And now let's see what Ryan.
Apparently, in Oklahoma, the best way to protect democracy is to teach teenagers that it might not have happened. This is Theocracy Watch. Good morning, fellow skeptics, and welcome back to Theocracy Watch, where we expose how Christian nationalism is turning classrooms into battlegrounds. This week, Oklahoma's top education official is pushing public schools to teach Trump's 2020 election lies as if they're historical fact. And if that wasn't enough, the curriculum is already packed with Bible mandates, PragerU talking points, and more revisionist spin than a Fox News highlight reel. Rion Walters is back on our radar and unfortunately back in Oklahoma classrooms. The superintendent who is shoving Bibles and PragerU into the curriculum is now rewriting history with Trump election lies. Oklahoma's new high school standards direct students to examine alleged discrepancies in the 2020 election claims about ballot counting pauses, mail-in voting, and bellwether counties, info that has long been debunked. He's also pushed for mandatory Bible instruction, distributing Bibles paired with the Constitution as part of a so-called patriotic education, and PragerU's culture war content is now classroom approved too. And in typical zealotry fashion, it's a curriculum mandate with no materials, no training, and obviously no concern for the mess it creates in actual classrooms. Without any clear guidelines, what's stopping a teacher from flipping the script entirely and teaching the election was rigged, but it was Trump that actually lost? Just something to consider. If we're just tossing discrepancies around with no framework, it's open season. I'm just saying. These moves have drawn support from Moms for Liberty and the Heritage Foundation, while prompting lawsuits from educators who say the process was rushed and politically motivated. This isn't civic education for a slow, calculated grooming process designed to turn the next generation of critical thinkers into obedient believers, to teach them that history is negotiable, facts are flexible, and loyalty to power matters more than truth. Controlling what children believe about faith, freedom, and the systems they're told to trust means you don't need to win elections because you've already shaped the minds that will decide them. That's the real lesson ideologues like Walters is teaching, a version of patriotic education where slavery had benefits. Babies are born sinful, and Trump wasn't defeated. He was betrayed by the country he loves. We must call it what it is and confront it for what it is doing, or we won't just lose the truth. We'll lose kids to a system that turns them to believers who never question who handed them the answers in the first place. So until next time, stay curious.
Wow.
I mean, election lies. Why? Por qué? Why?
Right. I mean, these are, I read about this before. These are things that have been disproven legally. They've taken them to court. They've gotten their asses handed them in court about these things. And now, despite that, they're going to go force this misinformation on the children in the schools of Oklahoma. And it's just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
Again, they're going to test the waters. There will be different states who are more pliable for this kind of infiltration, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And other states will be watching closely to see how it goes and if they can follow suit.
So there you have it.
There you have it.
And one of the things, this is Oklahoma. This is the same state that also wants to get Bible, the Ten Commandments. I don't know if Oklahoma has it. I think Louisiana has it. Oklahoma wants the Ten Commandments.
Louisiana, I think they're still stuck. They're still trying to get it passed, but I need to check back up on that.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
That there is a lot. So the Tulsa spill. Is my stuff still messed up? I think my stuff is okay now. I figured out what's causing the little hiccup problem. I think I'm gonna resolve that. What was I saying? I was saying something important. Oh, same state. This is the same state that if it wants the Ten Commandments, blah 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 blah. I think they either have it or want it, but they're also trying to get the government to fund Catholic school. an online Catholic school in the state of Oklahoma. Same state.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you couple that with all the stuff that they're doing to gut, like education, things in the big, beautiful bill. Like, they're like Project 2025. There's a Project 2025 tracker. Like, if you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's like a Project 2025 tracker in it, and it tells you like what the plan is and how many have been implemented and stuff. You should check it out because it's fucking wild. Step by step. They've got it all plotted out.
We should probably put this on the show more often.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that?
Wow.
That's some scary shit.
And there's a lot more. 20 more. Wow. This is just agencies.
Yeah. Small government. Isn't small government great? And like I said, like with the panopticon, I was like, you know what? That's actually like kind of like the perfect word. They're just making it so there's one place that gets to surveil the rest of us, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody's watching them.
Not enough people for damn sure. In the chat, really says, what's the IRL for that? It's Project 2025.observer. If you want, though, really just all I had to do is type in Project 2025 tracker. Google brought it right up to the top. That's a lot, man. They've got really, that's scary.
It is. It almost feels like you can just feel the army just marching closer and closer and closer.
Wow, look at that.
And did y'all hear Marjorie Taylor Greene saying something about, oh, I didn't know that was in the bill, about the what is it called? The watching us, the surveillance, sorry.
The surveillance thing. Yeah, the Palantir thing we were just talking about.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't know that. That's, you're gonna trample on states' rights. Bitch, y'all been trampling on states' rights. The hell? Oh, you can trample on states' rights when you want to, but then when you don't want, like, which is which? Ho. Pick a side, pick a team.
It's very, well, look at you. Come here. Let me guys show you something. Look what happened to this little guy.
2 pages, right, Obi? Okay. Oh my God!
I know. He got a haircut yesterday.
He looks like a different dog.
He is not happy about it, really. He was so happy to see me, and I love that. When I got there to pick him up, but yeah, he lost a lot of weight. There was a lot of dog.
He looked like a skinny little mini now.
I know, he's something else. So get over and fix the damn computer. Computer technicians, you just can't trust them. They're cute, but you know how it is. I am a puppy cuddler, Simply Secular Dave. Indeed, I am. John Hudson, half Ollie. That's right. He's cute though. He's such a cute dog. I love that dog. He's so fun. I never would have thought I'd like a dog like that. But one of the things about Marjorie Taylor Greene is that, I mean, how could she not know these things?
This is point proven. They should not have these jobs. They are not doing their job. They are not reading these bills. How do you sign something? Like, this isn't just like Apple saying, okay, do you agree when you log on to this? No, you are in the government. You are making decisions for all of us. That is your effing job. Get it together. You should read everything that comes across your. So you're telling me, so if I put something in front of your desk, like maybe, I'm trying to erase all, you're just going to sign it? No, guarantee you wouldn't.
Right. Well, no, theirs over there is just now it's a cult of personality. I mean, it's just pure, this is coming. It's about sucking up to Trump. So much of it is just being a sycophant to Trump. There's a politician, you said his name in the video. I don't remember his name because I forget shit like that. I think it was like Watkins or something. And someday he's going to sit there and he's going to send a message saying, hey, Trump, I need a favor, or love me or something. Remember me. I'm the guy that got your election lies forced into schools in Oklahoma. This is all sycophanting, sucking up.
They're arranging
why else?
themselves in the circus to be closer to the
Yes.
one running it, but you're still in the freaking circus, bro.
And I also feel that the people in Oklahoma, these politicians in Oklahoma, are also, let's use the word, grooming the students in preparation for the future elections. Do you like that? Good. For grooming them for future elections. When the conservatives lose, they'll say it was stolen from them, and the people will believe it because they were literally taught in school that it happens.
Yep. It's just like the Bible dogma. You believe things that aren't even there, right? It's not even there in the Bible, but you believe it to be true because you've just been fed that rhetoric all your life.
Right. And it's amazing how somebody like her could get elected to begin with and how she could stay elected. You'd think she would lose against a cucumber.
And I don't even care about calling her a bitch because she is a bitch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
I don't Ryan said word too lightly, and she's a bitch.
Right. Yeah. There's other words that,
See you next Tuesday works as well.
Sure, there you go. Yeah. I know.
I wish we could go back to the old days and get in the ring. Like, I wish. Like, if we could do that, and then like whoever wins decides, put me in, coach.
I would watch.
Let's go. I would do. If we could make that happen, I guarantee you, someone can make that happen. I will do it. I will do it.
You would do it. You would do it. Here's one of the things I enjoy that sort of notion. I remember thinking as a kid, what they need to do is they need to put, what the hell, Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev on an island together, and whichever one survives, let them fight it out, and whichever one wins, and we don't have to have millions of people die to figure out. We to let them do the thing, and that kind of, let that. That would never work. It sounds like a good idea in theory.
I know it wouldn't, because it really wouldn't, be fair.
Yeah.
Just like when we're watching Game of Thrones, and you can have someone like pitch hit for you and fight for you. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Monster guy to fight for you. Like, shit.
There you go. That's a good idea. But then again, you got things like, I'm in my 50s. All this other stuff. There's this 6'6" football player who's Jesus dolled up, Tim Tebow or whomever, and would come in and beat me down like a 9-year-old girl. That wouldn't make him right.
Right.
And that's what we got to avoid. Yeah. The notion that whoever's physically, you'd feel good. That's what we feel good. Maybe what we could do is, and I'm going to let's just say this. I don't know. We're just goofing off, right? We're not making policy, but maybe make it part of her conviction. After she's been removed from office, tried for her crimes, and convicted, and on her way to jail, you and she get 5 minutes together in a ring, and you get to go do that voodoo that you so crave to do. That's what I'm saying.
5 minutes of pleasure.
Yes. We could. What is that?
Gloves off. No gloves, please.
PayPal it? No, not PayPal it. Pay-per-view.
PayPal it. Yes, pay-per-view.
PayPal it. Yeah. So
I like it.
But, of course, naturally, we don't. I got to say, Ryan, I've never seen you in person. I am 6'3", 210-ish pounds. She looks like she could probably handle herself in a brawl. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I got confidence in you, though, girl. I'm with you. Unless it actually were to happen, I might be sliding $5 her way because she looks a little like
she looks like a sack of shit. That's what she looks like to me.
That's a good point. Pay-per-view event, says Fern Lovebond. Fern Lovebond says, fuck, I hate the South U.S. I tell you, man, it's been decades and decades and decades of misinformation. I don't know how Brent, hey, good morning. Nice to join you. I mean to keep replying to you. I'm just a bad person. Keep forgetting to do it. Me and Brent are making plans, evil plans of doom and despair to take over the world. Lobo Samhain says she's into CrossFit. She is. And I'm just saying she's not a dainty woman, is all I'm saying. She's got some like meat on her bones. Like she could throw some weight.
I'd like to see her meat in action. I don't know what fuels her, but I know what fuels me.
I'll be in my bunk. John with sloppy John Hudson, you're a bad man. We don't feed shame. Okay, you can feed shame, John. John says, I'll fight her. John, we don't say things. Apostate babe Linda, good morning. She's a bully. Take her in and she will back down. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Well, one of the things is, all right, all this is fun, just kind of kidding aside sort of things. She's a vile person. She's a vile individual.
She's vile.
She is. She has harmed our nation. She's hurt people. She hurts poor people. She's a sycophant. She's highly uneducated. She believes all this conspiracy nonsense. She is not a person who should be in political power. This is a person who should be wearing a straitjacket, taking what is it, Thorazine, and drooling on herself in a hospital somewhere. That's the kind of person she should be. Yep. I was going to be kind and saying should be out there, selling the pencils from a cup, but that's a step above where she should be. If you've heard the things this woman has said.
She doesn't have a critical thinking bone in her body.
She does not.
She really don't. She just repeats what's fed to her.
Her and Bobert. Oh my goodness, that lady is such a. Oh,
both of them deserve each other. I wish they were just.
There was this one. I don't know who he was. He was a reporter, or a politician, or ex-politician doing a reporter's job. One of them talking heads. I don't know. Je ne sais pas. But he was talking about Bobert, and he's like, I don't know about, what she does now. But once she's out of Congress, she may have a future in OnlyFans or something like that. And I was like, well, maybe, but I don't know.
I mean,
that's a hard sell right there.
Some people like watching train wrecks.
You could go check out her guns.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess. See? Yeah. Well, yeah, what a train wreck, huh? The one who's all high and mighty and all those things about family values and all those things. Go look about what happened with her family and how she ran it and how what she had. She was. How old was she when she became a grandmother for the first time? Powerful young. Bobert that's a great point. Who said that? Let me find Brent. Hey, Bobert makes Marjorie Trader Greene look like a political genius by comparison. Very true. They're just bad examples. They are bad examples. She's a bully. The pinky in the brain one is a genius. The other is insane. Applies to really, yeah. I don't know. Not good. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I have the Chris Mallard channel over there, and I dropped a video yesterday on the Chris Mallard channel.
Did you?
A Nuevo video. And so I'm going to put it, I know, I'm just as excited about it as you are. So I'll put a link so people can go check it out here, but I'll put it, I want to see how it holds. Yes. All right, so wow. 44 people say I should get whacked. No, 82% of 44 people say I should get Hovind to whack me. Whack me hard, Ken.
Do it.
Do it. Almost 20% thinks can't handle it. I know. I feel for him.
I'm excited to see what turns out. What you do. What happens? I
don't know. I may have to do. I got to do something. I don't know that I can't really guarantee he'll see anything I do at all. How would I even?
We'd have to flood
somehow,
tweet, and be like, oh man, did you see so and so really slammed on you, slam dunked on you, or
how
something?
can I tag him? I can't tag him if he doesn't have a channel.
He don't have.
I guess I could. I don't know that he does. Well, actually, Joe the Kentucky Atheist, if he's still watching, has a phone number. He can call him. I guess, yeah, was it Ken Hovind? Yeah, I think he has his phone number. You could actually call. I could get his phone number from him and call him and just say, hey, man, check out this video. Whack me, bro.
Whack me, please.
Captive Death says, now you got to wash your mouth out with soap. Chris, maybe. It's fun. Just don't tell the evil one we think you should get waxed. She's the only one that whacks me. Why? Because bro, I'm not against guns. I'm against Indians owning them. That's part of the deal. You know, they always like to make it out like we want everybody to not have guns, and we want open borders and everybody to just come across, and we hate guns. None of that's true. But that's all lies. The whole right-wing party is nothing but lies.
Yeah.
Liars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to run a little thing. We'll take a little bit of break, and whenever we come back, we'll carry on. We'll look at my poll. I'm not very happy with my poll today. Well-regulated. Yeah, I know, Fern. Well-regulated. But if you know your history, regulators. The Second Amendment was actually put there more to mollify slaveholders than it was to actually protect your freedoms. And again, what is the United States? If it's the Constitution, and the Constitution is what we love and defend, that Donald Trump has been literally attacking the Constitution, attacking the United States. Therefore, Donald Trump is the epitome of, there is no greater than Donald Trump when it comes to a domestic threat to the United States. Isn't it weird?
Yeah, they want to protect kids, but not in school. Oh wait, but they do. They want to indoctrinate them in school, but they don't want to protect them from bloodshed
or feed them.
Or feed them. Oh my God! Like I've been watching some of these people interrogate the woman. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry. She just got short blonde hair, older lady. And he was asking, wouldn't you feel better? Wouldn't kids learn better? You know, if they have food at home, food at school, and have better health care and things like. And she was like, yes, but this will put in the parents' hands. I'm like, you're not getting it. You're avoiding it on purpose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? They should see the same thing whenever they're talking about their damn Bible and 10 Commandments. Let that be put in their kids' hands or in the parents' hands and blah, blah, blah. Not in our schools. John the Heretic Drumpf is a domestic threat and an insurrectionist. Well, yeah. We'll be back. Here, check out this commercial here. Let's do this one.
Today's world is confusing, and there's too much information for one person to make sense of it all. Which credit card should I pay off first? Is non-fat milk good for me? Who should I vote for? Let's face it, if you can't figure out high-interest milk, then how can you be expected to make political decisions that influence a country of over 325 million people? Well, that's why there's fascism. Fascism is the political, social, and economic system for today's world. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines fascism as a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts a nation, and often race, above the individual, and that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of the opposition. Choose this ideology and life will be easy. Did you ever look at someone who uses really big words and think, I wish those libs would just disappear? Well, under fascism, your dreams can come true. Under fascism, you won't have to worry about the pesky little things like brown people or atheists, or who in your country is entitled to basic human rights and who is not. Hint, hint, the answer is nobody. Yes, friends, this truly is the final solution you've been looking for. And if you're concerned if this form of authoritarianism will be up to your high standards, don't worry. American fascism will be the best fascism in the world because it's been endorsed by Jesus. So go out and destroy freedom and democracy by getting fascism today. Paid for by the Fascio Conservative Party, formerly known as the GOP.
And we are back. So as we were talking, Ryan's not back yet. Grumpy Librarian, the Heller decision left plenty of room on the what and where of gun control. The only lockdown, oh, gotcha, and only lock down some limits on who, not all guns in all places for Helen. The gun control issue is a complicated one. It's not but part of the whole deal is that a lot of the people on the right, whenever they used to talk about how this Second Amendment was so precious because not only do they, defend their house, but to defend this country from threats, both foreign and domestic. We have a foreign threat. His name is Vladimir Putin. And Donald Trump, according to the Mueller report, and if you just kind of know, is a tool of Vladimir Putin. And then you could actually sit there and go ask chat, I don't know if it's the best idea anymore, depending on who's running your chat, Grok, for example. But go look at what Donald Trump is doing. Is he helping our country in really any tangible way? Or is he, what would Vladimir Putin hope for in a Manchurian candidate? In somebody that he could have put in office, in office specifically to undermine and destroy our country. And then go look at what Donald Trump has done. And those two things, they are very much like each other. And just like we were watching with the Project 2025 tracker, Project 2025, by the time it's all done, will in a way turn the United States into a fiefdom, just like Russia for Donald Trump. So the similarities are amazing. Brent A says, education is finished. Many colleges around me and are in the teaching profession are pro-Trump. Those that speak out get silenced. Yep. We see them going after universities right now. It's just in high gear. They're going after Columbia now. They went there. They're still, I'm sure, still hardcore after Harvard. Part of the deal is they got all this money. I'm going to bring Rion back. There we go. Part of the deal is they got all this money so they can wage all these wars. When you're waging a war against Harvard like this, you've got money behind you.
Oh yeah.
And there has to come a time to where the money behind them doesn't protect them anymore. That's what we don't have the money behind us. It's really becoming a French guillotine situation. There's no other choice outside of overthrowing those who are saying let them eat cake. Of course, we know she didn't say that. Harvard has been shockingly stand up. I know, Fern, very surprised with what's going on in Harvard. Well done, Harvard. Grumpy Librarian says what Russia is doing is working because it's perfectly legal. We don't have the right laws. One of the things I've been saying is that Vladimir Putin is waging what's the word? Not hidden, but it's a hidden. A war against the United States, a covert war against the United States. And Donald Trump is one of his weapons in that war to undermine and bring down the United States, the great nation that it used to be. And you can go look at like the 2016 election, as mentioned earlier. He had help with Russia before the election getting there. The digital marketplace, like the Facebook, the YouTube, the lies, the misinformation spread by Trump, Russia, they had entire farms of Russian people, not bots, people out there doing things to undermine the election.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point is it no longer the United States of America?
It ain't the fucking United States of America now, if you ask me.
Right.
We have so many hands in the cookie jar right now. This is just the blood is in the water. The sharks taste the blood, and they are just chomping at the bit to eat up all the agencies that protect us and make themselves the head honchos.
So there was an insurrection, and the United States lost to Donald Trump and the MAGA party.
We did. I don't know if people want to
now,
we did.
right. And now what's happening is those who won that war, the MAGA party, are literally dismantling their former enemy, the United States. They're dismantling every aspect of our government.
Right.
And, you know, a tiny, tiny, small government is an easy government to overthrow.
Yes. Yeah.
A side thought there.
Yeah.
YouTuber Grudge is here. Brent A. Let's see. Last Days of American Empire for sure. For sure. Brent says, yeah, it sucks and has been going on since Reagan. The Democrats swung right to the win the electorate. And, well, here we are. Welcome to the normalization of authoritarianism. Yeah, you're right, Brent. Guitar Dog, dump banned people from several countries due to the attack in Colorado. The attacker was Egyptian. It was just an excuse. I don't know which family members. My understanding is they arrested all of that person's family. And they were going to deport them all. That's not really how this is supposed to work. I know he did wrong, but that doesn't mean everybody in his family did wrong. Does it? Now, if they were all illegals, that'd be one thing. I don't think any of them were illegal, though, were they?
And I think, what did you say? Did you?
I didn't know if any of them were illegal or not. His family.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. You know, it's weird how you can, like, you're basically talking about yourself, pointing the finger, but for some reason, you know, you're elite, of course, so the rules don't apply to you.
Oh, of course. Sumami says there's a reason why a lot of Arabic people have a problem with Egypt. Their government has overwhelmingly supported the United States and Israel when it comes to Palestine. Yeah. When they're one of the few Arabic nations that is in the position to provide real support to Palestine, they failed to do so. That's sort of I got issues there myself, and I don't even know that much about the region. I just kind of have an idea vaguely about the borders. And I'm like, how can you not get food to these people? And then here's a good one. Fern Lovebond says, calling human beings illegal is cringy when they were here illegally. From people who here took the land. And that's the whole thing. I'm really of the notion that at this point, and nobody takes my opinion, but the Palestinians, if they can, should go somewhere else. If they can. You know, I mean, that's tough. I don't know why.
I mean, there are people leaving because, you know,
why would you want to stay?
They did leave, but, you know, they shouldn't have to. That's their fucking, they've been there for thousands of years.
Right. I totally get that. I get that as well. Just like all the Native Americans who were here before we were here. You can see a map of the country, the United States, and it's like shows the Cherokee were here. This is a map of the United States in 1749, and the Cherokee were here and all this stuff. And, you know, we don't have a big push to give our land back to the Cherokee. Okay, wait a second. If you go back another 50 years on that map, that land belonged to the Apaches. And another 200 years before that, it belonged to the Iroquois. So at what time in history do we determine who owns that land now?
I would just say who we took it from. That's all I would.
Took it from.
I would just say who we took it from, what happened here between people who, you know, live with their next door neighbors. They can handle their issues.
So if we give the land back to those whom we took it from, for example, here in New Mexico, the Cherokee, then at that point, now the Cherokee's in command. And by that same notion, they should give the land to the Apaches, who they took the land from 150 years before. It's just, I found it such a messed up thing. And why be people killing over it? Now, you know my notion about the whole Israel thing. The reason why it's not Israel. It's not the Israeli people. It's not the Jewish people. It's freaking the Zionists, the MAGA, the right-wing MAGA of the Israeli government is now in full control. They have the guns, they have the power, and they are slaughtering people.
Yeah, I mean, it's been that way. They've been in power since the 40s, and it's just ramped up, and they get emboldened by, you know, other countries who've been providing them weapons and intel. I mean, all the surrounding countries practically have been just handing over like all the information that they have, like with their surveillance. And it's just a colonial empire feeding on one of the, few last indigenous populations in the region. If you ask me, that's what I see happening. And it's been happening for 70 something years.
Well, that's a good part of it. We've had times in their history where things like Netanyahu was cast out of power. They've had their kind of, just like we've had, let's not say left leaning like we know left, but more centrist, and then far hard right. The centrist is like, the centrist is like, no, we shouldn't kill everybody in Gaza. We should just merely oppress them or whatever. But the far right are the ones who will just want to clear it all out and unalive everybody in the entire area. Either get out or die, right?
Yeah.
And I think that Netanyahu's even said as much recently.
Oh yeah, you can watch their channels. They say it proudly. It's not like
Now, see, there's one thing whenever you're talking about Hezbollah, and whenever you're talking about Islamists, militants who are trying to force Islam on blah, 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 or Islamist militants who are in Gaza, who are there because they hate Israel, because their book tells them they're supposed to hate the Jews and kill the Jews, and that's what they're really about. Because to a degree, and this is the fucked up thing about what's going on over there, to a degree, the Israelites are not wrong. They are under attack. They're literally surrounded by all the countries around them who would want to kill them because they're Muslim.
No, they've literally been the one. They are the heart and soul of all the reason that we even went after. Like, what's the dude who had mass weapons of destruction? Like, this is all from Netanyahu.
Saddam Hussein.
He is the one who is intentionally caused disruption in that area, so that way he looks like the victim. He's literally the one who. They're the ones who say every accusation is basically a confession. We're innocent. They're the ones stealing. They've stolen my people's land from Lebanon and from Palestine. They're you can believe what you want. That's fine, but
no, I agree with you. No, I agree with you.
That's not what I think. I want people to know I do not think that's all.
I think I need to clarify then what I'm talking about. There is a mandate in the Muslim religion to kill Jews. Okay. Not counting the Palestinian situation, right now in the circumstance, there is Israel, and they are surrounded by Muslim countries. Correct? Probably. And all those primary, right, like Iran, who wants to kill Israel. And there was whenever they had back in '68 when they were attacked, they just got a lot of people who want. Now this is just, I'm not saying you're wrong. Wait with me here.
Oh, I know I'm not wrong.
No. This is just because of religion. This is just because their book says hate that person over there because of their faith. Let's just set that aside. Then you've also got years, decades of them doing exactly what you've talked about. Doing it, so no wonder why people over there want to go after. I think it's too messed up of a deal for me to even comprehend what's going on. So yeah, and now obviously, as I've already said, it's not all the Jewish people, but man, I bet you'd be hard pressed to find a Jewish person over there who lives in Israel who wouldn't say very horrific things about people in Gaza, because we see it on the. It's just so fucked up. Carry on. Let me let you. You know more about it than I do.
There's a lot to be said about that. I kind of am with Kip. I don't say too much about Islam because just like Christians want me to be dead, like I could say the same thing. Their Christians' goal here is to kill me and to kill my children. There might be extremists in Christian. There might be extremists in Judaism or Zion, whatever. But ultimately, it's a land grab. That's what it's come to. It's a geopolitical ideology, but yes, they are using religion to back it 100%. Because that's how they protect themselves. They wield that religion like, oh, I'm the victim. You punch somebody and then they kick your ass and like, oh, I don't know much more to say about it other than that. But
yeah. I mean, I just, and like Kip says, I need to go back here what Dr. Kip said about people who don't, for people from the outside who do not understand Islam should not be making assertions about what Islam says and does not say. That's true. Dr. Kip, who determines what level of what is knowledge about Islam? So who is the gatekeeper on who knows enough about Islam in order to be able to speak about it? Who gets to determine if I know enough about Islam to determine whether or not I am allowed to speak about Islam? Is that you, Dr. Kip?
Definitely not me. I just don't.
No, I mean, I can actually admit that, but that sounds exactly like something that somebody that just sounds like, you know, somebody, if you're not a Christian, you shouldn't say bad things about Christians. If you don't know enough about Christianity, you shouldn't knock it. I'm just saying, I just kind of feel very like, that's not right.
I just understand that's an argument. That's your argument is just an argument I hear a lot. Like, well, their religion says they kill Jews. But at the same time, like, it's just the weaponization of religion, and not everybody feels that way. Not all Christians want me to be dead. Not all people who practice that religion want people to be dead. So just to rely on, well, that's maybe why they're attacking people, because they're surrounded by people who are taught that they hate them. I think that says a lot about people who are Muslim. That's not true. And I just want to make sure that I want people to know that that is not what I've known about people that I've met. They seem to be, at least to me, just like, you know, your average nice guy Christian. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Well, and even me, sometimes we do speak in blanket terms. When I do that, I'm often, whenever I'm talking badly about the people who are doing those things I'm talking about the Zionists. I say, yeah, because I obviously don't believe all the people there. I mean, I'm sorry, Kip, I don't mean to get at you. Let me see what it's saying. I think we should speak to actual Muslims and get our information from them. That's a great idea. I do the same thing whenever generally talking about like trans issues or other issues. Yep. Good idea. But I don't think but I will cringe at somebody going around telling me that I don't have enough knowledge to talk about something. It's, you know what I mean? I get it, but it's a little, I think you feel what I'm trying to, I hope you feel.
I understand. Nobody wants to be policed about what they can talk about. And I don't think anybody's trying to police you. I think they're just suggesting that, like, if that's the only thing that you know about that religion, then you only know this much, and it's really like not enough to make. Right. I don't know.
I agree with you. I don't know a lot about the religion.
Topic, y'all. Like, do y'all see? Like, this is the level of agitation that is intentionally being put on our society for no other reason, just to distract us from helping each other, which is ultimately what. Probably every single one of us, even the fucking maggots, probably ultimately think they're doing the right thing, but it's miseducation. And I think that's why we, at the heart of it, you and I, we like learning from our people in the chat, because I don't know how many times somebody's like corrected me or told me something like that I didn't know. And the only way we're going to draw this fucking darkness into the light is mentioning these people's names and talking about it, getting uncomfortable. And even if that means like we're a little bickery sometimes, that's fine. That's what it takes. Yeah. That's what it fucking takes sometimes, is to get like people feeling, you know, feeling something about what's happening instead of just like lackadaisical letting it happen. I'd rather be like this and be passionate than be dispassionate. Is that the word, dispassionate? Oh yeah. I would rather people like, well, Jesus, she's like fucking on one. I'd rather be people thinking I'm on one than thinking I don't care.
Right. Dr. Kip says most of us were Christians, so we have a lot of useful insight about Christianity. But clear, I certainly do not know of anything of any Islam, which is why I try to refrain from criticism. That's a great point, Dr. Kip. And I want to mention, now you don't really catch up with the show terribly often. Most of the time, I don't even talk about Islam for that reason. I don't know enough about it to mention it. I'll say that on the show. That wasn't what got me. What got me was somebody telling me that somebody else needs to determine whether I know enough about a topic to be able to talk about it. That's kind of what got me. And see, the part of what's going on is, like Ryan said, I think I even said it, this is such an incredibly complicated problem. It's not a one-off thing.
Well,
it's not one simple cause. Yes,
it isn't a complicated problem. It is colonization. So it's pretty cut and dry. You're stealing land from people, and people are going to fight back, and it's going to cause problems. Yes, we've made it complicated where there's nuances now. Israel exists. Unfucking believable as it is, but they are fucking there now, right? So it's a problem we have to deal with. Like, they exist as much as I exist, as much as that. So the problem is, stop fucking killing people, stop stealing land, and maybe then there can be a meeting of minds. Like, that to me is pretty fucking simple.
That would be a good
I'm not yelling
start,
at you.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, I get you. I feel you. No, that's
Sorry.
sometimes I play the devil's advocate, like earlier whenever I'm doing the land thing. I'm just playing the devil's advocate. Yeah. Because at what point do we now listen? Just like you just said, it's there. You're there. The Israel is there. You've got your borders. You've got it. Fucking stop. There's no need to continue doing. Just stop. Let there be two states. Let there be another beautiful country of Palestinians right there beside you. It doesn't have to be this blood, murder, death, kill thing. It doesn't have to be.
Whatever the Palestinians want is what they should have, as far as I'm concerned. Whatever it is that they want on their land, they should be able to make that decision. And I mean, at least the countries that are finally recognizing them as a state, like, thank fucking God. Like, what the fuck took you so long? Like, I don't even understand this. Right. Like, people living there, they don't have a country or a state or. Give me a
what the hell, right? Yeah,
I think that's weird as fuck. And like all those weird sayings, like a land for people without a land. These are all Christian ideologies. Like this shit came out of Christianity. Zionism, the name may have sprung from a Jewish person. I don't even know that. I think they were probably secular. I don't even know that they were religious, but they have been indoctrinated by this. I don't know. Philo-Semitism or something that they're getting from Christians. I don't know, but it's going to come to an abrupt end. I'm telling you, if y'all read through like some of that shit and like Project 2025, like Project Esther, it is all fucking anti-Semitic as shit. I don't even understand how they're getting away with it. Like, they're literally like calling out Jewish people and playing into the fucking tropes about like a great cabal, which we know is not fucking true. Sorry.
No. You go on, Russ, what you've said on the show this whole time you've been with us. Dr. Kip says it's a mistake to equate Israeli state policy with Judaism. See, man, I don't know if you're talking to me or somebody else. Maybe it's because you just got here, but I don't. I sometimes in a conversation I might throw things around, but I very specifically claim the Israeli, what's going on now is more of the Zionism, and I don't blame all the people of Israel, and I know it's not all Israelis or Israelis are like that.
It's not synonymous with
Judaism. Is not. No, I totally get you. Yeah, sometimes I come across fast and hard, but I do. Thank you for keeping me on my toes and splitting the difference. So normally I do try to split the difference, and I'm saying, like, I'll come off all the time and be like, it's not all of these people. It's these right-wing nutbags. Our equivalent of
it's extremism. Like, I mean, maybe I sound extremist, but I really don't. I'm happy for you to have your rights, and you're really, like, seriously, just fucking keep it to yourself, bro.
Let me ask you the hard question. I want to ask it. I don't want to ask it because I don't know if I like.
If I have an answer, I might not.
Okay. So right now, this is my feeling. Right now, they've got a border, and this is what they call Israel. And then outside of that, you got these other things. Okay, and they've got that. It's already what they've got. Put their freaking wall around it and give the Palestinians everything outside of that because they've already got it. Are you saying, now whenever I say, that, you tend to say, let the Palestinians have what the Palestinians have. So does that mean by your notion, they should either kill all the Jews who live there or just physically remove them from Israel now and just rename it all back to Palestine?
I do not think they should kill all the Zionists. I actually do not like murder. I would prefer people stop killing each other. I don't even.
Well, they should forcibly remove them from Israel.
I think that they should go back to whatever contract is not the right word. Whatever they had back from. Yeah, something because they had everything plotted out. I do think that most Palestinians. I don't know for sure because I've not talked to them all.
Though, isn't it? I'm sorry. I was just saying it was tough.
Oh, no. I believe that a majority of them prefer a one state because if you have a two state, you're always going to have like that nationalist agenda there because it's always going to put supremacy on the Zionists. It's always going to be.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm not a politician.
No, it's a good question.
I don't fucking know any of this shit. But I support, I understand that idea because already what you have in Israel is people are not treated equally. There is no gay rights. Like, it's not what everybody says it is. It's not.
But they do have universal health care that we don't have.
That we pay for.
That we pay for. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So they need to, I mean, that's for them to figure out. But yeah, I think there's settlements that need to be evacuated. I mean, they're currently in the West Bank killing people left and right, stealing their land. I watch the freaking videos all the time of them just coming into their land and just bat, killing people or just knocking their house down. And this is their, West Bank is Palestinian territory, but Israel just won't stop.
You're right. But if we point that out and we say, hey, Israel is doing bad here, then we're anti-Semitic.
Well, that's what Project Esther is about. Project Esther is about shutting up. That is the purpose of it, is to shut us, to not just us. It is to shut anybody down who goes. I mean, it's like the new blasphemy law, pretty much, because anybody who goes against Christianity, like content creators like you and I, like freaking, Spliff Vision, they could get taken down too.
I'm waiting for it.
Everybody should be worried.
Yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of that, the little channel's kind of getting to the point to where I'm going to, become a actual LLC, all those things. And part of the reason for doing that is to protect yourself from getting frivolously sued by people who want to use money to destroy people like us.
That might be a smart idea. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Apostate babe Linda James, here's my impression as well. Zionism is MAGA for people over in Israel. It's essentially the right-wing, far-right people. It's a political movement, as you said, a stance rather than a Jewish religion. And that's what we would equate to. So what's happening over there is essentially now it's like if you disagree with anything America does, or the MAGA is who's taking over the United States. Normal Americans aren't wanting to hurt all immigrants and take rights away from women and all that. Well, I guess they are. But you know what I mean? That's the MAGA movement that's in part of that. But if you stand against that, if you're out there going, you don't go, I'm anti-MAGA, you go, I'm anti-United States. The U.S. is bad now. They're the ones who are putting people in cages. They're the ones who are taking away due process. It's America. Trump and his administration in America. It's ICE in America. We don't relegate it to the political MAGA that it really kind of is. And it's,
it's a certain call right now. It's a certain call. And I even think that Republicans are a little bit appalled. I think there are some who are just like, man, I didn't know I was signing up for this. But you did, pal. You signed us all up for it. But, and then again, and I say that, but did we? Because I honestly still think that he didn't win the election. Oh, take my channel down.
It's my channel.
Honestly, like, why would you be so upset against erasing that from history? Basically trying to rewrite history is what they want to do. Why? Probably because it's true.
Right. That's right. Oh my goodness. We know exactly how these people are. We did Conspirowin earlier, didn't we? Or was it fascism?
I feel like I remember fascism, but I don't know.
I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go load up my coffee cup, cry for a moment. I have to say, this is fantastic. Because sometimes when you know what you mean, I know what I meant. But whenever you got to go and you're going like, oh no, they did this and they did this. I'm like, no, yeah, she's right. I know she. Matter of fact, the reason why the guys that I was talking about got attacked back in 68 was because of their actions after 48, the things that you described. I get it totally. So yeah. That's one of the things.
It's been a long, drawn out war.
It really has. There's a lot of dynamics at play, and religion is certainly top of the list. Religion, political ideology,
it's being weaponized,
and the search for power.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll be back. People want the Pharaoh's curse, and they're voting already. Okay, they don't give a shit about Conspirowin. They want a Pharaoh's curse. All right, you get the Pharaoh's curse, my friends. We'll be back in just a minute, and I'll continue burying myself here on the stream.
Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco fue no bueno, it stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister, now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
Right.
She's
And we
evil.
are back. We were talking about Ranty Rion. Now, we've occasionally seen Ranty Chris on the show whenever I get all out of hand. But Ranty Rion is something, you know, of course, when as all that was going down a few minutes ago, I was telling Ryan, I mean, I could see it coming. It's like you could hear the horn, the screeching of the tires. You looked up, there were lights. Do you get out of the way? No, there's lights.
You just deer in the headlights.
No, but well, that's one of the things as far as people who watch the show often know that we don't generally talk about the Israel-Gaza thing going on over there. We don't. We generally agree on things. I agree. I mean, I do. One of the things I agree on, though, is I don't know enough about what's going on to really have a terrible opinion. I'm divided. I'm against Islam and the things that it brings, and it's blah, blah, blah.
You have
People
issues
in
with
Gaza.
some of the beliefs that especially they're taken so extreme, and some of the stuff it actually says you don't know how to rationalize it. Just like I don't know how to rationalize fucking Numbers 31 or whatever it is when Moses
Very
kills all
true.
them babies and takes the girls for his wives and shit. How do you say this is a loving religion when it says that? But you see people who are good Christians who are loving and like so. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. My deal is I got a lot to learn. I really do. There's a lot about these things that I'm passionate about because I see them being done or imposed upon people. People often come into this chat and they're like, you know, why don't you talk about Islam? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One of them is because Islam is not being shoved down my throat right now like Christianity is.
Exactly.
And the other one is I really don't know that much about it. I don't know enough about it to.
I want to.
Yeah, I can tell you my experience with it has been brief, but often scary.
Yeah.
People I know who've dealt with it, who are from. I mean, there's a word I didn't even know, apostophobia.
Oh
And
yeah, the apostates.
I didn't even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big deal. Just like with JWs, apostate is like a no word. Like that's an
I know.
ixnay on the apostate a.
Yeah. And there are just a lot of things I don't know, but I do know that we, you know, every day we stream live And I post the stream in like 12 or 14 Facebook groups. Philip Lister, a regular here in the chat, also shared our stream with a bunch of other Facebook groups. And some of them were Islamic groups, and they were atheist groups who were like, atheist Islam conversation groups. And the administrators of those groups began to get threats, so we had to stop putting our show.
Wow.
So I don't know a lot about Islam, but I know it's not safe.
I have seen aggression there. I mean, I've seen the same. I've gotten death threats from Christians too, but that's why, like, when I have friends who are former, I guess they call them ex-Muslim too. I guess. Yeah, I let them handle it. I just like, you go for it because you know it, because you can read the language. You know what I'm saying? You know the prayers. You know what it says. I don't freaking know. So,
well, you remember when? I'm sorry.
No, I just said I platform them.
Yeah, remember whenever we were streaming to those groups, we would get Muslim chatters in the chat, and I would ask them questions about, like, were you here? I think you were here for that. It might have been before you and Durante got here. Anyway, I would ask them in the chat, so your religion is peaceful? Oh yeah, it's peaceful. We're all peaceful. I was like, okay, so if you had a woman go naked down the center street of Mecca towards the Kaaba, and she's holding a sign with a picture of Muhammad on that sign, and it says "Death to Muhammad," would she survive that walk?
No.
And they're like, well, why she got to be naked? I'm like, what's your problem with that?
Well, she could just be honestly, probably just being there and holding the sign would be
just enough. I know. That would just be enough. But I mean, I just threw on the extra little sauce for the goose, But I found it interesting that was the oh, wait a second, why has she got to be naked? But anyway, the point was that she'd never get to that. She'd never get to the Kaaba. And so I don't know a lot about Islam yet. I do know some things, though. Now, actually, what one of them said was she would be safe because people would take her off the street. They'd remove her from the street for her own safety.
I think there would be those who would protect her and those who would be angry.
Oh, yeah. I suspect in that case they'd both be the same. Even the people protecting her would still be pissed at her. There's good people in all religions. There's good people in all religions. I think there's still good people. Chris, if you want to maybe contact Mr. and Mrs. Friendly Ex-Muslim or Apostate Aladdin to be guests or something, I'd love to have a guest on, Muslim on the show. The only reason why it came up was because I don't even know why it came up. We were talking about something. Because of Gaza. Here's the whole deal, though. That was where we were leading as far as what's going on in Gaza. I feel for the people. I'm a humanitarian. I feel for the people of Gaza. I absolutely don't agree with their religion. And we have seen that people who are the more fundamentalist they are, the more likely they are to be violent and harmful. And it's whenever you see places like Iran and Saudi Arabia that hang people for being gay because of their religion, the government hangs men for being gay because the government is controlled by Islam and they are Muslims and they see that as an offense. It really is confusing to see gay support for Muslims in Gaza.
Humanity over
isn't it?
Over what people identify as. That's how I see it.
That's wonderful, and I think it's fantastic. But for the humanist side of things, it's like to imagine you'd actually go and help a people who, given the opportunity, would literally throw you off a building.
If you would help somebody and they throw you off the building, I think that's
ideally,
all you need to know. I mean, the truth is that before all this kicked off, really, in the Swana region, before Bibi set a lot of shit off, there were, I mean,
That's right.
Jewish people lived amongst Muslims, and they loved each other. They shared, you know, they share a lot of history together. Plus, I guess, you know, they come from the same Abraham. You know, if you believe the religion, you think you stem
And
from,
they do.
right? Yeah, I don't, but and even in Palestine for thousands of years, you know, there were Jewish people who still live in Palestine side by side with, and no problem, no issue, loved each other. I mean, you know, of course there's issues with people. Like, I'm not trying to make it like some romanticized or anything. But the truth is that when, you know, there was a lot of suffering, they found solace in Muslim countries and flourished, and still probably do till this day. So it's just extremism. You know, there's always a reflection in the mirror. You know, when somebody rises up extreme, then it's like, now the other religion has to get extreme, and they just fucking build on each other. They're just reflecting each other. Fucking, if you both chill the goddamn hell out.
Well, and anytime either one of the religions get power, political power, when they have political power, they use that to harm.
Which is why religion should be out of everywhere. Religion should just be kept out of fucking government.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm checking things out, making sure we haven't blown up our chat yet. What a passionate conversation. I mean, we were talking originally about Oklahoma and Trump lies.
I've completely derailed us with my Theocracy Watch today.
Well, no, that's all right. These are important topics, you know.
Yeah.
And I got a lot to learn. In my case, I'm passionate about the religion being the problem part, but I'm smart enough to know it's not the only problem. Did your electricity do something?
No, I don't know. My fan is still on, so I don't know if it flashed or not, because my computer's hooked to a
battery backup.
Battery thing. Yeah.
Awesome.
I know.
I thought you were getting smited right there on the show.
I was getting to be evaporated right in front of you.
Yeah, but my deal is that, you know, there's a lot going on over there, and I often don't talk about it because I just don't know enough about it. I like to lean on my humanitarian side, like you were talking about, and going, listen, Jesus, I don't know what the hell those people did to you, but what you're doing to them is, I mean, what's going on over there. And we see people over here in our country who, if you speak out against what's going on, you're speaking out against Israel, as we mentioned earlier, but we're not speaking. It's more complicated. Like I said, that's where I brought us back to the MAGA thing. You know, but once MAGA is in the political office and runs the political office, there's no separation between MAGA and the United States. You don't later on down the road go, I disagree with what MAGA is doing. No, you go, I disagree with what ICE, i.e., the United States is doing. Same thing in Israel. We don't often enough go, it's the Zionists who need to hang these atrocities on their heads. Too many people are out there going, it's the Jewish people.
Yeah, anti-Semitism is just not called for. It's not helping, and it does not help our cause. You know, and I understand that some just might be accidental misinformation. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people aren't taught stuff, but it's uncalled for. But also is the anti-Islamophobia. Like right now, we should remove that part from it and just get this shit to fucking stop, and then maybe. Right. When the dust is settled, they'll realize extremity is just, it's extremism is actually making your religion look so super shitty.
Right.
Like seriously, like do y'all realize how shitty you're making your religion look when you weaponize it like that? Like and I'm not specifying anybody, just any religion, all of them, the world. Yeah. You're just showing us your real face. The mask is slipping.
And it is not pretty. Interesting. You are wonderful. Thank you for your patience with me today. As you and Dr. Kip, thank you for your patience with me today. I will absolutely 100% agree. And again, most of the time we don't even talk about this because I know I don't know enough. But it was, once we started going and Ryan started going, I was like, I ain't gonna stop
I'm just on the train.
I'm just on the train. We had $2 from Left-Handed Jedi saying, sending out love to those who need it. Thank you. I believe we were talking about trans individuals and their world and their needs. And later on, $2 from Left-Handed Jedi, see the Savior, taste the Savior. Christ crackers. Christ on a cracker. No, Christ crackers. And I still like the idea of doing them. Yeah, you got to have not just like Jesus praying or something. It's got to be Jesus on a stick.
Like action shots of Jesus. Maybe like breaking
shots of
bread
Jesus.
or walking on water. getting his feet washed.
Feet washed.
And it's just wait. And it's just looking at Jesus and a woman on her knees from behind, and that's all you see.
Washing his feet. Why has it got to be a woman?
Oh, even better.
Peter, John. Anyway, the buddy Christ.
We're going to hell.
Thank you very much. You guys have all been wonderful. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us today. Tomorrow, we're going to have AJ on from
Ways to Human.
Ways to Human. AJ is going to come on. Ways to Human. What's going on down in Texas? They have got the 10 Commandments. They're going to start putting in schools, forcing on children because the Sermon on the Mount wasn't good enough. So we're going to have AJ on for the show tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And I'm on hers tonight. We're doing a live stream.
Oh, really? I didn't know how to put a link. Go find links for over on Ways to Humans channel.
Yeah, just go follow them and you'll see the live link for tonight.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you for joining me. That hair is awesome. I'm going to keep working on it. I will.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there. I am.
Little butterfly clips.
I need butterfly.
Yeah, just those little they're so cute.
Yeah. I dig it. Thank you everyone for joining us today. You are wonderful and we appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Sin safely, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goat's the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink, light the gold candle, don't even